Hi guys, welcome to our channel. This is Kinjal. I'm a second year student at Shriram College of Commerce. I was the national topper of CUET 2022, and this is our initiative Mind that is mentoring in new dimensions. And this is our new initiative that is Topper Talks. So we have a stellar individual with us here, Samiksha. So Samiksha, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I am Samiksha Manuja. I am currently pursuing Bachelor in Management Studies from Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies, Delhi University. And I'm really glad to get an opportunity to have this talk with Kinjal.
Okay, that's great to hear, Samiksha. Also, guys, she got all India rank 2 in BMS. That's a great thing. That's a great achievement. So let's know from her what are her secrets, how did she prepare everything. So, Samiksha, how was the journey from class 12 to CET?
It was definitely not an easy one, managing both boards and CUET. In boards, we had to prepare for all the subjects and those domains we had to give in CUET. But side by side, we had to prepare also for the general test, which is required for BMS basically, the aggregate score. So yeah, it was a tough one, but with consistent practice, clearing my concepts and clearing my doubts on time, I could handle the subjects very well and perform well in the CUET.
That's great. Samiksha, there's a major doubt that how should we manage boards and CET together? Like, do we need to study separate thing for CET or what we need to do?
So in my journey, I found it like if we have our concepts cleared of all the domain subjects, it become very easy to solve the CUET paper. So firstly, whenever you are studying in class 12, so first of all, I would give advice to all the next 2024 CUET aspirants that first of all clear all your concepts very well, and if you get any doubt, clear them that in that moment only. Don't just postpone it for long. And I've observed that if I had prepared well for my domains in boards, so in CUT, I just have to give it a glance over it. But what is most important is practicing questions, practicing MCQ questions for mathematics and other domains as well. As for those aspirants who are aspiring for general tests, so they need to put in some efforts for quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning and even general knowledge. So this is the additional effort that they need to put, as it also in English, that is quite different from class 12 English. So that is the additional effort that is required to be put. But with consistency, everything can be achieved. And the questions were of mostly of conceptual level. There was no as such very high level of difficulty. So with basic understanding and the way of understanding attempting questions, anyone can solve this UT paper and excel in it basically.
Basically, they need not prepare differently for CET except for maths, general test, and English. Domains can be, prepared accordingly, right?
Yeah, and also for maths, focusing on NCRT is must. So clearing basic concepts from NCRT rather than going on any higher difficult level mathematics work. Firstly, focusing on NCRT is very much well enough, and then they can practice other questions if they need more confidence. So that's my advice.
Right. So, Samiksha, there's, a wave in juniors that we need not to, study for boards because CUET is coming. But I have been, telling them the same thing that's like if you're preparing for boards, consistently, CUET is not a big thing for you. So, Samiksha, what was your strategy for
Definitely.
journal test? And because it is a very different subject from maths, everything. So, how did you prepare for it? What is your strategy? How would you recommend, the coming aspirants to do so?
So, I had also given other exams, IP MAT, Rohtak, Indore, and other exams. So, for that, I prepared that quantitative aptitude and logical reasoning and general awareness. But I think if a student maybe they should prepare by starting with basic concept. They should understand the concept and then consistently they can practice the question from various sources. So for concept, they can refer to various study material that they can find on YouTube or any other platform or even coaching if they want to join. But it's I won't say it's very rocket science. It's simple, basic quantitative aptitude is very basic, simple maths, but just the concept needs to be clear. Coming with logical reasoning, it's quite simple. You need to apply logic, and it would you can sail through it. There's no need to worry so much about it. As for general awareness, being aware about the common facts, current affairs, and also the static GK, history, political science, which they had studied in past, those were the basic questions that were asked. So I think they can refer to various material and then practice accordingly and can prepare for the exam.
Okay, thank you so much for that answer, Samiksha. Also, what is the difference you see in CUET and boards? Like, what is that one thing that people need to consider while they prepare for CUET as well?
Firstly, I would say for boards, one needs to focus more on what they're writing in their answer. So for that, they require to consistently practice writing answers, because like how many points you have to write, which information should come first, which should come afterwards, and what should do if they don't know any answer in the board. So how should they frame their answer? These practice they need in boards. But for CUT, I think what matters was the concept, and you know the aware about the concept, and you can should eliminate the options that are given. If one knows the correct answer as it is, so then so there is no problem. But like if there are the options are quite confusing, so one should begin with eliminating, and this would come by practicing from various question banks, MCQ practice for all the subjects, especially for maths, like where you need to solve the question. So it would be like in maths, definitely they need to practice according to timer, because question can be very lengthy, but the marks is only, it's like they have to cover so much questions in that limited time. So for maths, like they need to practice with timer, even for general tests and other subjects. But this was would be my advice, like for CUT focusing more on concept and how can they eliminate the options and find the answer, but for boards focusing more on how to write the answers. So that my
That's great. Okay, so Samiksha, also there's a doubt that inflation is being, referred to these days many a times. Like juniors always say that we have done Sandeep Garg, we have done this book. What do you think is the importance of NCRT? Because I have been telling them. So you have recently done that too. According to you, what is the importance of NCRT and how we should, use that effectively?
So I would start that with accounts basically. Accountancy, we all mostly refer to VK Goel, Sandeep Garg, and these books. But I just, before my CUT, I just opened the NCRT and done the back questions that were given in fill in the blanks and MCQ. And the as it is same question came in CUT. And I think if I had not prepared it then I might have got confused in CUT, because it was a little tweaked language, but that was exactly from NCRT. Same with maths. Some questions came directly from NCRT. So NCRT is very important. Like reading for business studies, economics, and other theory subjects, reading NCRT is very important. Even for all the subjects, for maths, I would recommend first do NCRT other than doing any other book, because questions come directly from them, and the level of the question is also based on NCRT. So one should not neglect NCRT on doing other books. But yeah, specifically for some subjects, if they feel that the content in other book is quite vast or it is explained more appropriately, so they can refer it to that. But if they get time, then definitely referring to NCRT is quite an help for CUET.
So to all juniors watching this, you can, see what's the importance of NCRT. It is very, very important. You cannot neglect it. Also, it is not possible for you to cover that NCRT in that 1 to 1.5 months because there's a lot to cover in that. You have to do mock tests, you have to do practice, but you cannot do that course here. So please be very specific in NCRT. Also, Samiksha, CUET is a CBT based test. So what do you think is the importance of mocks? And how many mocks did you give regularly? And so
Like before the 1 month that we got after boards, I actually gave mocks in that and prepare. They were back time based, so that was a great help. Like we know how to attempt how the questions faster and how we can spend less time in numerical questions. There we can minimize our spending time, and where we can maximize our doing our questions more and more. So doing mocks is very important, because if we go to the exam directly, we like there can be there can be a situation like we get stuck on a question and we keep on doing that, and we just can't lose other marks because of that one particular question. By doing mocks, we get the habit of doing the questions timely, maintaining our speed, maintaining our accuracy, and we can definitely test our knowledge. We get an idea in which topic we are weak, we need to put in more efforts, which topic is stronger, and we can do it first earlier before other topics and gain cover up more marks. So one should not neglect mocks, because mocks are a great help for CUT. They are like actual replica of, not actual, they would be like somewhat similar to the pattern, but doing them, one can get an idea how the questions could come and how they can solve in within the 1 hour they can attempt, and how much questions they can attempt to maximize their score basically. So they get a great idea from that.
So, Samiksha, how did you, opt for that course? Like, what was your major driving interest towards, BMS? So everyone is, going before SRCC BCom honors, Stephens Eco honors. Also, Sukhdev is important, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? But because it is a very difficult choice when you have to choose between all of these. So, what was your driving force for SSCBS?
So, like I would say that for like whole during the journey of whole my preparation, I had only dreamed of SSCBS basically. Like I think I what I've got to know from my seniors and my teachers, that course is more practically approached. There is practical exposure more in BMS, and definitely the corporate exposure, which I think is more in Sukhdev. And I don't know, like it's just the start of the journey. I'll experience it in the way, but I definitely felt that I should go gain more practical exposure, which I need, and that's why that was the major driving force that made me choose this course over other courses.
Okay, thank you so much, Samiksha. Also, one last message for your juniors or anyone who is preparing for CUET.
Just firstly, whenever you are attempting mocks, don't get disheartened by your score. They are not at all your actual score. You can definitely improve any day. Even with just 2 days left before the exam, you can just read the text once, give it a glance over it, and you can definitely sail in your exam. Secondly, just don't rush over doing questions and questions. Just firstly, clear your concepts, because many times clear just knowing the concept, and when you get that MCQ, you can definitely know what the answer would be. So first step would be clearing your concept and then moving on to solving various questions, and that too if you can do with the timer, so get an idea how we would be able to complete your exam in time. And lastly, I know all the viewers would do perform well in their CUT and they would get into their dream college. So my message would be just have faith in yourself and to do your best for the exam.
Thank you so much, Samiksha, for your time, for that wonderful interview. And to all the viewers and all the juniors watching this, you can see Samiksha as your inspiration. She is literally inspiration to lakhs or thousands of students who are aspiring for BMS or any dream college. It is not that hard. Just you have to, have faith in yourself and keep that hustle going on because you don't have to stop, right? So thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. We'll be back with talks. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.